Being 8 is tough and interesting at the same time. You want nothing to do with being called a baby, but you're not yet in the double-digit age, which gives children big status, at least in their minds. Yes, this is a time when children start to develop their own personalities and interests and begin to show individuality in their actions and intentions. Hi, my name is Mfon. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to look at parenting tips for 8 to 10 years old. I mean, what your child should know at the age of 8 to 10. So before I start, I would like to say that this topic is a bit long, and because of that, I'm going to break it into part 1 and part 2. Please watch part 1 and part 2 because the last point is very, very important, and I bet you wouldn't like to miss it. So please stay to the end of this video, both part 1 and part 2. So, number 1, love the Lord. Of course, if that's not number 1, what else? You guys know me. Faith is part of my niche. Deuteronomy 6:4-7. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your strength. And these words which I command you today shall be in your heart. You shall teach them diligently to your children, and shall talk of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise up. Yes, it's that important. Today is Sunday. Last weekend was Easter. And my daughter was literally binge watching these YouTube channels: Superbook, Bible Project, and Kids on the Move. I love these channels because of the way they simplify and explain Bible stories to kids' understanding while making it fun and interesting. I mean, after that, my daughter went on the whiteboard. Yes, I got that for home learning, and drew these pictures. The crucifixion, you can see where she said, "Take him." The death, you can see the cross, and the resurrection of our Lord Jesus Christ, you can see the tomb. I couldn't be more proud as a parent seeing her understood the story of Easter and drawing those pictures of it. So parents, go subscribe to that channel and encourage your kids to watch their videos. I watch it too. I enjoy it. They will like it, and be there to help them out when necessary. Because sometimes my daughter will ask, "Mom, what does it mean for Satan to be the God of this world?" And I explain it to her. Yes, game is not the only thing a child can do. Please use technology to your advantage. Besides that, I have been doing a lot of memory verses with my daughter since she was 4, about to be 5. And I will send a video to my family in Nigeria, and my mom will be so proud of her. And she would say, "Oh, Joanna is so smart. Oh, that's good. You know, I didn't start today." In fact, Saturdays are for memory verses. You know, I am an intentional parent. So don't say I'm too harsh, because what you don't teach them, the devil will teach them. The world will teach them. So at 4, I got, A to Z of the Bible for her. I mean, I will make her do A, ask and it shall be given to you, seek and it shall find, knock and the door will be open to you. B, be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other. C, cast your case on the Lord for he will sustain you. And she will do that till Z. Yes, I make her do that because I want to help her to know the Bible, to love the Lord. Next time, we do the one on the clipboard. If you look at it, it's so old. Yes, I have written this down like 3 to 4 years ago. So she even has a timetable for it on the door of our room. So she's really, she really loves the Lord. And we do a lot of Bible study at home also. Right now, we are studying the book of Luke. So this mama is doing her job. Before I wrap up this topic, I just want to do a little chit chat about my amazing daughter today. Like I said, today is Sunday, first Sunday after Easter. My daughter woke up early, brushed her teeth, took her bath, and started making breakfast for herself and her siblings, preparing for church. In fact, she woke me up with Sinach's song, a Waymaker. And coincidentally, in church today, that was the last song before we dismiss. Tell me, if that's not the work of the Holy Spirit, what else is it? So, God bless you, my daughter. You're amazing. I raised her right. I pray she continues. And I will always take her to God in prayer. In my last video, I talked about teaching your child to memorize John 3:16. We memorize a lot of scriptures in our house, like Psalm 91, Psalm 1, Psalm 121, Psalm 23, the Lord's Prayers, and others. You might think that she's just memorizing it, but to me, there are some Bible verses that are stuck with me from childhood because I memorized it, like Proverbs 4:23, one of my favorite verses in the Bible. Keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. King James Version. Forgive me if I'm talking too much about this point, but it means a lot to me, and I want y'all to take it serious. Take a look at the picture on the screen. You have to be intentional in teaching your kids to love the Lord. Don't leave it for only church and Sunday school. That's not enough. And most importantly, model Christ. Yes, because children don't like when parents are always fighting. For example, some kids would say, if Christianity was that good of a religion, why did you guys divorce? That hit hard, right? I've heard a lady say, oh, my mama got divorced. Me, I did what my mama did. So modeling is very, very important. Yes, my daughter once asked me, Mom, do you and daddy fight? And it took me a second, to answer that question because I felt good inside of me. I applauded myself for modeling that adults should handle their differences with maturity. So modeling is very, very important. And in addition to that, if you are still keeping your kids at home, please take them to church. Kids don't understand online church. Take them to Sunday school. Take them to children's church or class. Let them go and color. Let them go and sing Jesus Loved Me, This I Know. So that's it for this point. I can talk the whole day. So let's move to the next one. Number 2, no emergency phone numbers. Yes. Help your child to memorize mom and dad's phone numbers. Most 8-year-olds don't have cell phones, so they need to commit that contact information to memory. God forbid, if your child ever gets lost, hurt, or needs to contact a family member in an emergency, does he or she knows the phone number to call? So that's very important, which takes me to the next one, password or secret code. Yes, create a secret family formulated password that is known to only the family members and should not be disclosed to strangers or outsiders. Very important. I've heard several stories about somebody picking up a child at school and that child asks, what's the passcode? And the stranger did not know, and that was how the child escaped. Very, very important. I have one in my house. Great one for yourself. Number 4, telling time on a traditional clock. Very, 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 very important. Some kids don't know how to tell time, and I saw that in Jimmy Kimmel's show, where a few kids, were asked telling time on the clock, and they couldn't. So teaching your child how to tell time on a traditional clock is very important. You'll be surprised how many children struggle to master telling time like this. I taught my daughter at 7 how to tell time, and she's very good now. Don't think that it's old school. It's not old school, but the proper way, especially when teaching time management. For example, I tell my daughter, you have 5 minutes left to watch on your iPad, and at 7 o'clock we will start making dinner. So she knows the time very, very well. In fact, she has gone ahead of our mates in telling time because I taught her that during summer of 2019. Yeah. Number 5, the value of money. Yes, at 5 years old, you can start teaching your kids about money and its value. But at age 8, children should understand how adults make money, how money is used, and begin to understand the age-old saying of money doesn't grow on trees. Yes, which takes me to the next one, which is teach your children to appreciate the blessings that they have and value them. For example, because kids don't know that you pay for water, they may decide to waste it. But at age 8, teach your children to appreciate what they have, because not all houses have running water and also food. Surprisingly, kids in America waste their school lunch. For example, if a child is not interested in eating food, that child will still collect a plate of food and dump it in the trash. And I'll be like, oh, some people don't have and you're throwing it away. Oh my gosh. And my husband was like, oh, these people are so wasteful. Hey, so teach your child that that's wastage and it's not good. Mostly because kids don't know the value. I normally have this conversation with my daughter that in Nigeria, some kids will go out and get water outside, some far distance, then come back and clean themselves up before going to school. So we need to teach them to appreciate and value what they have, because it's not everybody that has the opportunity that they have. And number 7, how to deal with bullies. By age 8, children have different levels of emotional coping behaviors. Some children let problems roll off their backs, and others take everything to heart and keep it inside until they become much bigger problems. I was like that. In Africa, parents don't believe in your mates bullying you. They believe in fighting back. What is wrong with you? Your mate beat you and you cry. They will beat you on top. But as a parent, support your child's self-esteem, yes, and encourage them to express themselves. Learning to stand up for yourself without stooping to someone else's lower behavior is the first step towards developing the leadership qualities that make your child someone who his or her peers will naturally want to follow. Yeah. So for my daughter, I encourage her to report any misconduct to the teacher and let the teacher handle the student by herself. She would also tell me when she comes home. That one is sure. So I will stop here today. Watch out for the part 2. Always remember to parent with the future in mind.